Hey folks, Deano here again. This time taking another quick look at an Xmen Marvel Legends figure from Hasbro. This is actually technically a 2-in-1 review, but it's mostly for like the animated series looking Morph. Obviously, I don't have a lot of attachment to the Age of Apocalypse version, but I got it so that I could make the animated series Morph look more like his Xmen 97 version, which of course is the more modern take with the indistinct grey face and the gloves. So yeah, both of these figures were actually on sale when I got it. A link in the description for Morph. I think I'll be able to find a link for this guy as well. He was quite cheap. I actually got him for a £5 of Star Action figures, I think. Not 100%, but Amazon also has him for 13, I think, now. So if you're looking for a way to quickly kitbash your VHS version Morph into the Xmen 97 version, then this is definitely a way to go. The VHS version was only 20 quid off Amazon. I got that earlier on. I had already made a video about him, but decided to scrap it because I would rather show both at the same time and show the kitbash, just so you can see what it looks like. Disclaimer, I'm by no means the first person to have done this. Like, there's many people on YouTube that have already showed it off, but I thought I'd do it in the same video, just so everyone could see what it looks like. So yeah, without further ado, let's get them off the turntable and take a look at the boxes. So, in terms of the boxes, we'll get the Age of Apocalypse version out the way first, because as I said, I don't have a lot of attachment to this. I honestly don't really even know what this version is. It's something to do with Apocalypse, obviously, but yeah, this is probably one of the comics that I missed back in the day. But yeah, old school clamshell packaging. This figure is a few years old at this point, so that's why it's the old style. You've got a picture of Apocalypse up there, and one of the creepiest looking pictures of Morph I think I've ever seen in my life. Image on the back, right there. I would actually say the actual figure looks a bit better than the render for once. So yeah, part of a Build-A-Figure wave for Sugarman. I'll be honest, I don't know this character either. He looks very creepy though. Looks like something out of Power Rangers. You also got this Age of Apocalypse wave. So you get Jean Grey, which that looks like quite a cool outfit. You've got Xman, which is a version of Cable, if I remember correctly. He's, instead of Nathaniel Summers, it's Nathaniel Gray. So he's actually Scott and Jean's kid instead of Scott and Madeline Pryor's. You've got Sunfire, Marvel's Wild Child. Is that Sabretooth? Like, is that another version of Sabretooth? I can't even say it properly. You've got Wet Mex, which is Wolverine, Marvel's Morph, and Dark Beast, which is an evil version that worked for Apocalypse instead of everyone's favourite Hank McCoy. So yeah, let's get that box out the way and take a look at the one we're actually here to see. So yeah, same as Wolverine, it's in the VHS plastic-free packaging. Very cool way to do plastic-free packaging, I have to say. Got a nice picture of him on the front. The cell shading on the box looks nothing like the figure. That's the one problem with these VHS figures. They all come with cell shading, which in most cases just makes them look like they've soiled themselves. Like, frankly, they've got dirty. But yeah, this is how he looked in the original 90s cartoon. Before the modernisation, and they changed it to like the non-distinct features. But yeah, Xmen, Marvel's Morph. Again, not sure why they have to do that. Probably something to do with copyright. Picture up the top, Marvel Comics. This entire front bit looks like a comic front page, which is very cool. On the side, looks like a VHS. You've even got the black there, which signifies where you originally had to grab it and pull the VHS out. I don't know about anywhere else, but in Scotland we just called them videotapes, which is easier to say than VHS. On the back, you've got a render of the character, and legalese, and such, and so forth. So yeah, let's get rid of this box and take a look at the accessories. So, in terms of accessories, apart from the piece of the Build-A-Figure from the Edge of Apocalypse Morph, he doesn't actually come with anything. Like, I said Magneto was bad. Like, that figure had absolutely no accessories whatsoever. I'm so glad I paid next to nothing for him, because if I would have paid full price for that, I think I would have probably lost my mind. But yeah, in terms of the animated series Morph, he comes with a pair of fists on him, a pair of relaxed sort of splayed open hands. I think Cyclops came with the same hands, just in yellow. So yeah, I think these actually come with all Vulcan bodies, like they've just reused them over and over and over again. But they're decent enough, if a bit big, in my opinion. And he also comes with this, which I really love. This is the corrupted Morph from when he was stuck with Mr. Sinister. So you can see the dark shades under the eyes and under the eyebrows, and that sinister smile, which, yeah, looks really nice. And the bedraggled hair as well looks good. That bedraggled hair actually looks more like the animated series than the normal head. The normal head, in my opinion, just, it looks way too almost realistic. Like, Morph never had a face this big. He had the square chin, but yeah, the hair just looks like a standard person's hair. Like, doesn't really look like Morph's at all, which is a bit lazy in my opinion. But yeah, that's it for accessories. Like, that's literally it. The two of them didn't come with much, but at least Morph came, or the animated series Morph came with something. But yeah, let's take a look at details now. So we'll move this Morph out the way and bring in this one quickly. Just get it out the road. So the face is decent. It's pretty much the entire reason I bought this figure, because this head's going in that body. But yeah, not too much in the way of details here. He has some almost cell shading look to the body. But from what I've looked up of this design, he should have like other pieces, like armbands and calf and knee straps. So yeah, this seems like quite a lazily made figure. They've literally just remolded some, well, if they even have, like the gloves and boots. Like, these almost look like Captain America's boots and gloves from back in the day. So I'm not sure if they just took it from that. However, the glove overlay is actually a separate piece, which is surprising. I thought that would have just been part of the sculpt, but there you go. The cape is an absolute mess. Like, it pegs in the back like Magneto's, but when you do that, the cape is actually longer than his feet, so he can't stand up properly. So you have to sort of leave it dangling, which, unlike Magneto's, it's not glued in the front, even though it really should be, because it's got like an almost tab that goes in between his pecs. So yeah, I'm not sure what happened to this figure. Like, really, this thing is as much of a travesty as what is it, the Thunderbird from the Storm and Thunderbird 2-pack, which I think, if I've done it right, is the review just before this, the day before. So yeah, all in all, like, this figure is shoddy at the best. Like, the only good thing about it is the head, and I'm hoping, like, the head is just white plastic, because whatever that's meant to be, like, that just looks like a gash across his forehead. Like, that doesn't look like any sort of shell shading to me. So yeah, probably magic eraser that off. So yeah, in terms of the VHS Morph, this one is a bit better. Not by a whole lot though, unfortunately. He's got the, was it the X-Force outfit underneath, which the animated series Morph did wear. It's sort of a training garb. But yeah, in terms of paint apps, there's not a whole lot. You've got the blue on the chest, and the rest is basically just cell shading paint apps, which aren't great. As you can see, the boots really look like that's horrendous. Like, somebody just squiggled on that. The jacket as well, like, that's not cell shading, guys. That's just, let's paint wherever we feel like it. Like, at least put it in the creases or something. That's the whole point. Like, what is this? Just a random line down the side of the jacket. Yeah, I am not too pleased with that. If they're going to do cell shading, at least do it correctly. But yeah, that's just a waste of time. Like, I think I'll just magic eraser this off as well, to be completely honest. The belt in the package, it was a way down next to his crotch, which I pushed up. That's more accurate to the show. Unfortunately, the jacket I think we've seen a few times before. I think it was first seen either with a Wolverine or in the Love Triangle 3-pack with a Wolverine, Cyclops, and Jean. But either way, it doesn't really fit this body. It's way too big and bulky. It makes Morph look huge when he really shouldn't be. Like, even in the 90s show, he was quite thin. But especially in X-Men 97, he's basically that in terms of bulk. So yeah, at least that one's got something going for it. But yeah, because of the fact that they've just reused the arms and the jacket, his arms cannot go down naturally. So yeah, he's always beefed up like this, which is a real shame, in my opinion. But yeah, let's take a quick look at this guy's articulation, and then we'll look at his articulation, and then we'll do the head swaps and stuff at the end. So, neck can go up really far. I'm assuming because of the cape that he can fly in this version, but who knows. He can look down that much. Swivel, not much rocker. Arms can go very far up. That's quite decent. Completely unhindered swivel. Butterfly joint, again, is really good. Like, I don't think this is the Vulcan body, is it? That's really good, to be honest. It might be the Vulcan body, I just can't really tell. He's got biceps. The one thing about this figure, I don't know if it's because it's older. It was brand new in box, like, but for some reason it feels dead gummy. Like, the plastics aren't very durable. But yeah, unfortunately, because of the gloves, that's about as much as you can get on that double joint, which is a shame. Yeah, it just pops back. Hinge and swivel at the wrist. He's got ab crunch, which can go back that far, makes him look like he's broke his chest. Forward that far. Swivel at the waist. Legs can go up that far. Can go back a little bit. That's about as much as you can do for the splits. Thigh rotation. Double joint of the legs. Can get decent range, but again the boots kind of get in the way. It does have boot swivel. Boots can go down that far. Not much up. And standard torticulation. In terms of the animated series one, you can look up that far, look down that far, swivel, bit of pivot. This head is actually kind of loose on that body. Arm can go up that far down. They can rotate. He does have a butterfly joint, but it's not much use with the jacket in the way. It just sort of pops back. Bicep swivel. He's got a single joint at the elbow, which also doubles as another rotation point. So not really sure what the bicep swivel was for. Hinge and swivel at the wrist. Ab crunch, which can go back that far, forward that far. Legs can go up that far. Can't go back any. He's got pretty decent splits. Thigh rotation, which is well hidden by the cut. I think this entire lower section is the same as Cyclops. Double joint at the knees. Also noticed it's pinless, which is good. Boot cut, boot swivel. Not sure why they made the swivel under this piece instead of making the full thing, because that would have hidden the cut a lot better. You can go down that far, up that far, and ankle pivot. So yeah, all in all, decent enough figure. The arms really let it down, and the cell shading. So yeah, without further ado, let's pop this guy's noggin off. That was quite easy. Because he wears gloves in the show, you can also use them from this. I don't think the yellow is going to be the exact same colour, but you can do it. You can also use the Cyclops gloves that he comes with, because that's the same colour of yellow. So pop all that off, pop his head off, a wee bit tight. Come on, it's always on camera. There we go. Right, so hands go in there, and that one easy enough. So yeah, there we have it. That is probably the closest we'll get to an Xmen 97 Morph until they eventually make a wave 3 or 4, I suppose. So yeah, I do quite like that. That's pretty decent. The gloves, the colour isn't so far off that you notice it too much. So yeah, but like I said, like these are from Cyclops, so you can also use that if you want some posy hands instead of just the fists. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. All in all, like I said, I paid the equivalent of retail price for these two. Like combined, just retail price. Like, I wouldn't have paid full price for these two, no chance in hell. But yeah, another X-Men on my shelf. And I do actually have Beast coming, just before we wrap up. I wasn't going to buy it myself, but very kindly, I am now getting it as a birthday present. So yeah, guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time.